Seahawks dismantle Patriots 29-13, and oh god,
Talk
um,
about a final score that does not do justice to how the game was. It doesn't do justice, man.
it really
It doesn't do
doesn't.
justice at
It
all.
doesn't. It doesn't, man. So let's start with the Seahawks side, man, because they obviously deserve the respect. They are the champions. I just want to say this. There are times when we watch football seasons and there's somebody that has to be crowned a champion every single year, right? And you're comfortable with the champion, right? It might not always be the best team, but it's a team that deserved to win. They went through the attrition of going through a football season and they were the last team standing, right? That's how you award champions. That's how we do it. But every now and then, truly the best team also is the team that ends up holding the Lombardi trophy at the end of the year, right? And to me, unequivocally, that was the 2025 Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks on opening day. We didn't know it at the time. It took about 8 weeks for us to really understand what was going on. But on opening day, the Seattle Seahawks were the best team in the NFL. And on the last day of the NFL season, the Seattle Seahawks were the best team in the NFL from start to finish. We're talking about a team that never lost a game by more than double digits. I think they in their 3 losses, it was by a combined 9 points. In their 3 losses, they had a 191 point differential for the entire season, which is a franchise record. And I think they had a total of like 95 seconds of trailing. Or some stat, I can't remember, but this was clearly the best team, and the best team deserved to hold up that Lombardi trophy, bro. So, Rob, how do you feel about that?
Herbie, it is often said that lightning does not strike twice in the same spot.
Yeah, right.
But you know, the Seattle Seahawks, man, they managed to do something that you rarely often see, and they did it about a decade apart, maybe a little more. And I got to give them props, Herbie, because this was the sleeping giant that, like you alluded to, was the best team all season long. And you know, our attention, our ire was for other teams, right? We had
Yeah,
the Chiefs and the Eagles, who, given their track records and how they've played and you know what they've accomplished, we gave them a lot of credence. We stuck hope with the Bills. We stuck hope with the Ravens. We stuck hope in the NFC with the Rams, right? And through it all, Herbie, the ones who came out on top were the Seattle Seahawks, Herbie. And I got to tell you, I know that the general consensus for the game was that it was a terrible game. And objectively speaking, especially for someone who does not watch football, you know, like as deeply as people like me and you, right? Like someone, a
yeah.
casual watcher, you know, anybody who doesn't keep up with football thought that game was boring and terrible. But I'll tell you this, Herbie, if there was one thing in the first half that kept me engaged, besides my tickets being blown by these teams not doing shit on offense, it was how reminiscent Mike Macdonald's defense was to the Legion of Boom over a
Yeah.
decade ago. Like
Mm-hmm.
Herbie, like I'm watching this game, and first and foremost, man, shout out to John Snyder, who put together the Legion of Boom all those years ago. Decided to go with Russell Wilson as his quarterback.
Yep.
Had his little period, and for the past what, like 7-8 years, you know, the Seahawks they didn't draft that great. They didn't have much going on, but he had cachet because of his previous, because of his previous accomplishments.
Right.
And then you look now, Herbie, to the team they built and what he was able to do in terms of gathering the perfect coaching staff to go with the right personnel. And Herbie, look at Herbie, the Seattle Seahawks, the Patriots looked overmatched in every aspect of the game, in particular when it came to their defense versus the offense. Herbie, the Patriots offensive line couldn't do anything. They were completely overmatched. And consider that the Seahawks, especially in the second half, only rushed 4, right? Their corners were completely erasing the New England receivers. They were ready for everything New England wanted to do. Mike Macdonald showed his coaching bones this season, Herbie. And it makes me think back to even when he was on the Ravens and he was the coach of that historic Ravens defense. And it just goes to show you, Herbie, there are some guys, Herbie, that are they're so good at their job. They're so talented at what they do. And Mike Macdonald is an excellent play caller, Herbie. Like he was a great play caller all season long. And when you add his coaching ability along with the personnel that they have on that team, with the way guys like Josh Joe played, with the way that guys like Devin Witherspoon, these guys were all over the field, Herbie. Shout out to 925, man. You know what I'm saying?
Outclassed, outcoached, out
It,
toughed,
I
out
mean,
mentally toughed.
it was complete. It was a complete out coaching show. You know what I mean? And then and consider this, Herbie. You look at the Seattle offense, right? Because I'm giving a lot of praise to their defense because their defense to me was the story, Herbie.
Yeah, 100% the story. They were the
You
story
know,
the entire year.
you know
They're
what
the
I'm saying?
team. Yeah, they're number one scoring defense and they were top 3 in scoring offense, like you said. So your top 3 in scoring offense are 28.5 points a game, right? So go ahead and continue giving love to the offense because the offense deserves love too.
The offense deserves a lot of love, Herbie, and I gotta give it to you, man. Kenneth Walker, man. You want to talk about a guy, especially when you consider the fact that Zach Charbonnet got hurt in the divisional round. So it was really the onus. You know, he had a running mate for most of the season, and the onus was on him, right? Because let's be honest, I'm gonna give Sam Darnold his flowers, Herbie. Today's his day. He's outside of the guys. Listen,
Oh, brother.
listen,
Oh, this
out of
brother.
all the guys, listen, Herbie.
I can't do
Out
this,
of all the
dog.
guys, out of all the guys in this class, for all the loving we gave to Josh
Oh,
Allen,
my
for all the
God.
loving we gave to Lamar, even Baker done got some love, man. Darnold, he's the one hosting the ring, Herbie. And
I
here's the funny part.
can't.
Here's the funny part, dog. Despite how he played in the Super Bowl, Herbie, and he was mid. He was mid at
He was
best.
so
He
mid.
was mid
But
at
yeah,
best in
go
the
ahead.
Super Bowl.
I'm trying to keep him inside, Rod. I'm trying my hardest, bro. I'm trying. You
But check
know
this
how I
out,
feel
though.
about Scam Darnold, bro.
Check this out, though,
Bro,
Herbie.
he was a scammer, bro. He was scamming, man. Come on, man. Like, don't. All right, you got it, bro. I can't do it. Not today. You got it, bro. You got it. You
listen,
got it.
and here's the thing, Herbie. Here's the thing I'll say about Sam before I get to the rest of the offense, Herbie. At the end of the day, he had his moment. Not in the Super
for sure.
Bowl. The NFC Championship game,
NFC Championship game,
quarterback head to head, he had his moment. So
he had his moment.
And here's two things I could give him credit for in the Super Bowl, despite how him not playing, him playing, average, even at times below average. He protected the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the one thing that he had done in the previous few games was Sam Darnold made sure he didn't turn it over. And number 2, Herbie, he saved the Seattle Seahawks on offense a few times. Like he was feeling the pressure. He was escaping guys. He was making the mistake that Drake Maye made a lot. And I don't really blame him in terms of, how his offensive line was playing, but even due to him just holding on to the ball too long, was he kept taking sacks. He kept taking sacks.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sam Darnold didn't put the Seattle Seahawks in compromised positions because he had at least was able to get himself out of bad situations, and he didn't put the ball in harm's way, Herbie. So all he had to do was just not fuck it up. And he did that, right? And you had Kenneth Walker to hold you down. You had A.J. Barner spring open for a touchdown after the Patriots defense, God rest their soul, who played an excellent first. You can only do so much, Herbie, when your offense ain't doing nothing, right? But man, shout out to the Seattle Seahawks organization from top to bottom. Shout out to ownership. Shout out to John Snyder, McDonald, the offense, Clint Kubiak, the defense. Like, shout out to all of them, Herbie, because this was a spectacular performance, bro. And this final score doesn't do it justice. Like, Seattle dominated this game. They dominated this game. Like the Patriots, you look at the final score, Herbie, the yardage totals are almost the same. And if you hadn't watched the game, you wouldn't realize that the Patriots didn't score a point for 3 quarters. At one point, I thought Jason Myers was going to be the MVP.
Yeah,
given how the game was going,
And me too.
Shout out to them, man.
Shout out to them too. And I want to leave on this note, right? It all starts with who they decided to hire 2 years ago with Mike Macdonald, and we're getting rid of Geno. And we're getting rid of Geno. Here's the thing. The funny thing about it is they wanted to keep Geno. Geno didn't want to be a part of the team anymore. Geno, he didn't want to not play for Pete Carroll, bro. Like, attached at the hip, bro. And it blew up in both of their faces, dog. Egg on everybody's face. The whole 12-pack carton of eggs. 18-pack. Publix. You feel me? Grade A. You feel me? Grass-fed eggs that they had all over their faces, right? But you keep saying to take it to the Patriots, right? Because I don't want to step on what you said. Like you landed the plane in regards to the Seahawks, man. So first things first, man. Round of applause for the Seahawks, man. NFL champion.